40 years of developing hockey players from youth to the pros, Minnesota Hockey Camps has a player development program for you. Located in Breezy Point, Minnesota, our professionally coached on-ice development sessions, off-ice speed training, weight room sessions, stick handling sessions, shooting skill sessions are the right program for you. MHC takes great pride in its tradition with developing NHL players like Chris Stewart, Ryan Bugsy Malone, Scotty Hartnell, and TJ Oshie. Our dedicated staff is ready for you. Come check us out at MinnesotaHockeyCamps.com. Sign up for your chance to become the player you've always wanted to be. Hashtag who will be next.
Cold showers, leaking pipes, furnace giving you the chills? Look no further. At Iron Range Plumbing and Heating, we've got you covered. From expert plumbing solutions to HVAC magic and all sheet metal work, we are your one-stop shop for comfort and reliability. Professional service from a team that cares. Say goodbye to household woes and hello to peace of mind. Call Iron Range Plumbing and Heating today and feel the difference.
Goat Sports. At Grand Rapids Chevrolet GMC in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, we have the trucks. Over 47 new Silverados and Sierras sitting currently on the lot with more to come. We have all the options: LT, RST, LTZ, High Countries, ZR2s. We have heavy duties. We have Sierra, SLT, Elevations, Denali's. We are equipped for the truck you are looking for. With great rebates currently, with up to $12,500 off on select models, now would be a great time to take advantage of savings and get yourself into a new truck today. Grand Rapids GM in Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
Welcome everybody to the Tea with Ms McGill Show, episode 113. Real quick for those of you that are podcasters, we did an episode a few weeks ago with Coach Frank Sartori. You're going to want to see that, but for some reason it would not download to podcast format. So if you're looking for that, just go to YouTube, search Tea with Ms McGill. You'll see our beautiful faces of Goat Sports Media. All right, little housekeeping there. All right.
His beautiful face, my ugly mug.
So once again, this episode is being brought to you by our friends up at Fortune Bay Resort and Casino on beautiful Lake Vermilion. Fortune Bay offers 172 rooms in a smoke-free resort environment, indoor pool, full-service marina, RV park, world-class golf, and several dining options. There's also a bar and all the gaming you can handle. Visit fortunebay.com for more details and plan your trip right now to get up to the bay. You got you a golfer?
Yeah, we've played there a couple times this summer. In fact, we had our UMD hockey alumni outing there, and wow, the course is lights out this year. It's really nice.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Did you lose there a golf ball?
Not really.
I would have.
Yeah.
I would have hooked it in the woods. I
So-
would have needed a whole bunch of golf balls.
Well, yeah, plenty of time to get there. Weather's a little cooler, so if you're in for the little cooler faller type, where it looks like it's going to stick around for a week or so. It's Labor Day weekend coming up, so get out there right now. We are live, but you're not going to see this live, but we are at the Ring Sports Bar and Grill in Eveleth. You can see the beautiful mural behind us. So we want to thank them in advance for their hospitality. Special guest right here, real quick. It is Puka speaking. Is the star of the show, Coach Reed Larson. Let me, a couple more housekeeping things. Oh, subs. Since our last episode, Pepe William Sturdiment, Tony Vidovic, and Tammy Carlson. So be just like these fine folks and subscribe to America's fastest growing hockey broadcast right now. All right, very special guest. Proud to have him, a buddy of both me and Reed's, Dr. Michael Miskovich. So we're going to go over, Doc's played a lot of hockey, got a family that's played a lot of hockey, got a mom from right here in Eveleth. Holy cow, we're covering all the bases right here tonight. So thanks for joining us, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me. Yeah, happy to be
And a
here.
lifelong brother.
Yeah.
From another brother.
Yeah.
Lifelong. You don't even understand how many years back Mikey and I go, but we'll go through a little bit of the career and the life of Doc Mike Miskey and his hockey career and our friendship all the way through.
And now hockey dad.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
cow, like I said,
A Rock Ridge hockey dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Reed, fire. You get them started.
Well,
you
yeah.
do them in diapers. I didn't.
Well, yeah, kind of not, yeah, we go back far enough, but well, let's just start off with this. We always kind of do it this way. We like to talk about how you started playing hockey, what was youth hockey like for, then we'll kind of go through high school and junior college and then after. And so I know all of this stuff in your life, but we want everybody out there to know, you know, how did hockey become part of your life? And we know you came from Grand Rapids, so let's hear it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just kind of followed in my older brother's footsteps. Peter played hockey, Aaron played hockey, and then we just kind of hit the rinks in Grand Rapids. You know, started out at the pond in southwest neighborhood in McGowan area. And then we'd hit, you know, Southwest Rink, Riverview, Murphy.
Oh, Riverview.
All the old rinks, you know, and just followed. And like when I was young, like I remember like John Roloff and Chris Marinucci and Grant Bischoff and Adam Roy and Duell and all those guys, they let us, everybody play with them, you know, and like, and you either sank or swim, and they were good. Yeah, they didn't, you know, ruin you or anything like that.
No, they made sure you knew.
Yeah,
they made sure you
they'd
knew
give you a
who
little,
they were.
they'd give you a little bone every now and then. And,
Yeah.
But they included you in all the games, and that was back when the shack attendants were open all the time. And
Yeah.
you'd go there after school, drop off your lunch, and you know you'd go home when it's dark and do your homework, and that's what everybody did.
And found a way to come back after you ate supper if you could. If
Yeah,
mom and dad were there.
if they let you out of the doghouse, you know.
But how many, just thinking back to the days at Southwest, like I grew up skating at Riverview, you grew up skating at Southwest. There was always games or pickup games where we would mix and go one rink and go the other. You know, you grew up going to St. Joe's and I went to Riverview. And think about those times going back there, how late they would keep those open. How many keys do you think there were to that shack at Southwest Rink?
100. I mean, it was just like always open, and people had keys. Like, and I remember like if this ice wasn't good, you'd go over to Riverview. You know, if Riverview or Southwest didn't have good ice, you'd go over to Murphy.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I skated in Cohasset, and even up in you know, up 38 there, you know, that
Oh
rink
yeah,
up there.
up in Arbo.
Yeah, Arbo.
Arbo,
Go up to Arbo,
yeah.
Arbo rink.
Lana's got one.
Yeah.
Well,
Ravana had one.
let me jump in here just because I've been in Rapids for 10 years now. Forest Lake rink's gone, Murphy rink's gone. Obviously Riverview, I heard stories, but I didn't see that one. What are your guys' feelings on it? It is so different. You know, I forget that they've got that rink. I actually think it's in a good spot at the middle school there because it's downtown, out of the wind. But what are your guys' thoughts on that? Kind of like just, I mean, obviously the schools aren't there either, but
Right, it's weird when I go back to town and you don't see all those old neighborhood rinks.
Yeah.
And you know when you say at the bottom of the hill, and the old Southwest rink was in that little hole there,
Down in
and
the
then-
gully.
it was?
and so it
Yeah,
was
I know what
really
you're talking about,
protected.
that big
It was
hill
really
you went on,
protected down there, and then so many years later they moved it on top of the hill, and they had I think 2 rinks there. Or a rink and a
rink
couple
and-
skating rinks.
yep,
you know,
just
up there.
for the figure
and it was a
skating rink.
lot colder when they moved it on top of the hill. I'll tell you that.
Well, I remember the days of going down below. You'd put your skates on at the top of the hill, and you'd just coast or slide or slide down
Remember
your
how
butt.
steep that hill
I
seemed when we
know.
were younger?
And then you try to get out of there at the end of the night. But you're right. When you're sitting down there and that wind is howling up top, it's like you nothing. You're down there. You didn't catch any of that wind. It was perfect.
well, that's a middle school. Those pine trees are down
Yeah.
there. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't. Have you either of you? I mean, I haven't.
I've
been,
seen it, but
I
I've never
forget that
skated
it's
there.
there.
I've never
Yeah.
skated on it.
Yeah.
but
Okay,
I've
yeah,
obviously
I
seen
mean, I
it.
might venture out to this because I think it's in a perfect spot. Let me jump in here real quick for a quick ad read. Aero Auto Glass and Supply. They're your local source for windshield repairs and replacement with same-day repair services available. Aero Auto also provides home services like installing and repairing your windows, glass doors, and shower glass doors. Aero Auto specializes in commercial glass door installations and repair. All of their work is warranted, and they accept all insurance companies for your convenience. Aero Auto Glass and Supply, downtown Virginia, and their new location in downtown Hibbing. Thank you, Aero Auto Glass. Continue.
Yeah, no, that's so kind of going back to those days of you know, you said the start of it was you had Peter and Aaron that started first. You kind of followed suit. You played for Southwest when you were younger.
Yeah.
Obviously went to St. Joe's.
Yep.
What did the next levels? You start getting through like your pony league where they had the name of the team that you played for was like a NHL team, right?
Yeah. I don't even remember my team. I just remember one year. I think it was like
you
my
were
first year.
I think you were on the North Stars one year.
I think you're right.
Yep.
And I remember one year Brian Shedeen was my coach, Kenny Trembath.
I played on the Blues, and Randy Melquist was my.
Okay, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember that too.
Yeah. The first year I played on the North Stars, and Aaron and I were on the same team.
Okay.
And Don Dewell was our coach.
Oh, I remember when Don Dewell coached.
Yeah, that was
Doing
back in
in
the
town?
day.
We just finished.
It was
wrap up?
Billy and Donnie's dad.
Dad.
Don
Oh,
Leader.
I see.
Yep.
Okay, I was gonna say
Yeah.
Donnie. I thought he was playing
Yeah.
around those times. Okay,
Yeah.
yep.
So that was a time frame of squirts.
Yeah.
Squirts.
In
We
Rapids,
called it Pony League.
We called it cadets.
Cadets and ponies,
which was
which was
mites,
mites,
yeah,
yep.
and ponies, and everybody else called it mites and squirts. You know,
Yeah.
Now we changed.
Well, of course,
So-
everybody always wanted to be different than what everyone else was doing, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, reinventing the wheel in Rapids. But
Yeah.
so then we get into the traveling levels. Talk about your Pee Wee and Bantam experience. You know, guys you played with that you remember, guys that coached you that made an impact. Talk about those times.
So my first year, I was a Pee Wee B, and gosh, my memory is kind of going to heck here. Who was my coach? And then I remember the next year was Pee Wee A's with Dale Christie.
Yep, and that was with me.
Yeah, and then we had Brandon Kleinendorf and Mitch Kellen and Matt Jasper and Andrew Freiberg, Josh Edwards, Jeff True.
Had kind of a crew there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're 98 high school,
Yeah.
and Peter's
Peter
95.
95,
and then
Aaron was
Aaron's-
97, I was
Okay,
98,
so
and then
you-
Matthew was 01 or 2000 or something like that.
Go on, I think. Yep.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you're playing with Aaron every other yearish.
So during the youth, Aaron was always, I think, 2 years ahead of me, if I remember that correctly, and I didn't start playing with Aaron until high school. Is that right?
Did we play Bantams together? I remember one year when I was on the Pee Wee team. You were playing on another level, but you
Yeah,
came
I was
on the
the- I
bench
was
and
your
you were-
guys' manager.
You were the manager
Yeah,
on our
yeah,
team, but
yeah.
played on another
Yes,
level.
yes,
And I think that was Pee Wee's. But
Yeah.
I think Bantams, I think we played together. Your first year, you played 2 years of Bantams.
Yeah.
Bantam A's. The
Yeah.
first year you played on the
That's
team
right,
with
yes.
Aaron and I, and Herning was the coach, Hernessman. And then the next year you played
And you had TR.
and you had TR
Yeah.
for a coach. And talk about that Bantam year with TR. What kind of an impact did Ted Brill have on your playing career?
Ted Brill was a special guy. Like, I would have never played past high school if it wasn't for Ted Brill. Like, he was just, you knew he loved you. And that doesn't mean like all the bells and whistles, but like he saw what you had within you. He would be that coach that brought things out of you that you didn't even know you had. And he was hard on you when he needed to be hard on you, but then he would pick you up when the chips were down, and then when you reached that goal that you didn't think you could reach, or you scored that big goal, he was just so happy.
He
for you.
was the first
Yeah.
guy to grab you and hug you. Or,
Yeah, and he did it. He trained your mind a lot too.
Yeah.
He was a lot of mental training and
Some of the best
philosophical.
coaches do that.
Yes, and he created a team that we all bought into, that we played for one common goal, and just made us all brothers. And when we went to the state tournament with TR, like, I mean, we beat the Duluth East team that really hadn't been beaten all year, and it was weird. We were in Hutchinson, Minnesota, and only one team, for whatever reason, they got things goofed up. We won our district, didn't lose any games, and then we went to Hutchinson, and it was like the Region 7 or the Section 7. And I remember that because you guys had gotten beat by East in the finals, and I was just crushed before that weekend.
That was sophomore year for me.
Yes,
That was
yes.
us losing at Peter's senior year.
Yes,
Aaron and
yeah.
I are in the game. We lose at the deck in front of 6,000 people
Yeah.
at the Duluth East.
And it was like a one-goal game. Yeah, it was a one-goal
And then
game.
East goes on to the state tournament and proceeds to
And
beat
just walks
everybody.
right
and
through it.
Spiar has a hat trick in every game.
Really back then, and that day, that was the state tournament.
Yeah, that was
in
the
those
state
days.
championship game
Yeah, yeah.
in Section 7 against
Yeah,
Rapids and Duluth
like-
East because they killed everybody at the state tournament.
Well, and I think in like almost even 98, like 7 of the 8 teams in that section were all rated within the top 15.
Yep.
And so it was a dogfight just to get out of
It
the
was
section.
a different time.
Yeah,
I think about the 80s. I pick up a Let's Play Hockey, Warroad, Roseau, Hibbing, Rapids,
Okay.
Clover Falls, maybe. You know, it was like it was
Greenway,
all
well,
up north. It
yeah,
was just
yeah.
See,
maybe
this
a Duluth
group
team,
of seniors that he's talking about, the seniors at Duluth East and the seniors at Rapids in '98, that's the same team. They beat them in Bantams to go to the state Bantam tournament,
Yes.
and Rapids went. That same Duluth East group won the state championship in '98
Right.
in high school.
And we lost them actually. It was in the semifinals. We got a weird draw in Hibbing, and we outshot them like 33-17.
Yep.
They hit the crossbar.
Gosh.
Seth
Haunting you to this
Nelson had a puck that jumped out and the goalie fell, had a wide open net, and kind of panicked and missed the net. And it just like Andrew Downing hit a pipe, walked through a couple guys, and it just wasn't our day, unfortunately. But it's just like, oh, it's one of those things that crush you. But anyway, going back to the region game that was the final to go to the state tournament. We weren't supposed to win that game, but we just were there. And like I said, I was crushed because, you know, our high school team had just gotten beaten. I thought it was our year to go down there.
It was our year to go.
I mean, really, you guys just had a special team. And we ended up winning, I think it was 4-2, and I had a goal and 3 assists. And then I remember going through the line, shaking all those guys' hands, and they were just bawling because they had all the rooms for the state tournament.
Oh,
They
of
were
course.
they were pretty sure they were going.
Yeah.
And we went to the state tournament, and I think we played the state champion in the quarterfinal, lost in overtime, and then we lost to White Bear Lake in the consolation next round to go to the consolation championship. We lost in overtime that time too, and actually Ted Brill's son-in-law was reffing the game, and I'll never forget. He grabbed him by the neck, and his teeth fell out. He was yelling at him so bad because they screwed us that game big time.
For those that don't know, I mean, we're talking about Ted Brill. Like, Ted Brill is an icon in the coaching world. Minnesota hockey, basically
USA hockey, Minnesota
started
hockey, yeah.
what is now the high
HP
performance
pro, yeah,
program.
yeah.
Basically,
He started
started
like
the grade
1993.
8.
Yeah.
The grade 8, and
Yep.
then everything kind of filtered down from there. He went from the grade 8, then it was the grade 68, then it was it was the maroon and gold.
Maroon and
game
gold,
first.
then the grade 68,
Yep.
then the grade 8.
Yeah, then the grade 8, and then from there on, Minnesota Hockey started putting together with USA Hockey their HP programs with the 16s and the 17s. And lo and behold, we're sitting where we are with all these opportunities for players, and they still name the grade 8 the Ted Brill grade 8.
Yeah. When I was down there watching our Rockridge kids and my nephew Ryder down there, it was pretty neat, you know.
Yeah.
Just kind of brought back a lot of memories, and it
I was happy
pretty
to
cool.
see Ryder play on that team.
Yeah, it was neat. And Ryder, wow, he was lights out. I think they actually asked him to go on, but he's like, no.
Nope, he's going to go fishing. He wants to go fishing.
Yeah. He's like, I did this because my uncle told me that I had to because of Ted Brill.
Yeah.
And his skates were like just on the last life. And he's like, I got through my skates.
Yeah.
And I don't have any skates anymore.
I don't have any at work.
How convenient.
Yeah.
Right on.
So, we were Bantam. So high school years. So you said obviously you just talked a little bit about East, but any good stories? Any memories from?
Well, it was pretty cool.
Who was your coach?
So Lynn Ellingson was our coach, and Bruce LaRock.
Yep.
Who else?
Gary DeGraio.
Yeah, Gary, and then Doc was our trainer, and then
And Dale Christie, then who coached us in Pee Wees, was also another JV coach that was there as well too.
But I got to play with Reed over here and Aaron. That was pretty special, and we had our ups and downs. It was our goalie Luke Schipper, and we beat some great teams, but we were inconsistent.
Yeah.
As a whole, but we had the makings. Like when we were on, we were pretty tough to beat.
Yeah, we had a lot of guys come out of that team that played at some level after high school. Guys like Mitch Kellen who played afterwards. He played at Wisconsin Stout. You had you that played at UMD, Aaron that played for the Gophers. ended up having Marcus Peters, who played at Air Force. There was a bunch of guys that played, and I played at UWS.
Yeah,
Yep.
and won a national championship, and yeah, there was quite a few that went on to play something after high school.
Yeah, some afterwards, and the biggest empty hole that all of us ever had in our career as a high school players is, geez, we never made that trip as a high school team
Down to St. Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hole that's still
And it was
hurts.
East every year for both of you, basically.
It was
Whether
for us.
finals or semifinals.
Yeah.
That's when
think
they got hot. That's when East
our
started becoming
sophomore
East.
year,
we lost
we
to
got
Greenway.
beat by Greenway.
Yep.
They hit the crossbar in that game.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Well, the goal that they scored to win the game went off of my ass and gave DJ Hill a breakaway.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
was
watching
96.
That, game. Yes,
That was
I watched
96,
They played
and-
East.
yes,
And
they played East and
East.
got crushed.
Yeah.
I remember that.
We matched up against East better than they did. But they had Adam Hauser, and Adam Hauser was always lights out against
Yeah,
us.
it was his best game of the year
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
was.
My senior year and your junior year, then we lost to East
Yeah,
again.
yeah. And then my senior year, we lost to East as well.
Yep. So it was.
But that's right when East was getting going.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It was
through the
they were
90s.
kind of the team of the
a little every
90s.
year,
Yeah. They had some players
was-
come out of there. Wow.
Yeah, they certainly did, and it was fun to talk to some of these guys. You hated them when you played against them in high school, but after high school was over, years down the road, talking about the good times and in front of some of the crowds that we had at the IRA Civic Center, some that we played against them at the deck. Who are some of the guys from Duluth East that you remember playing against that were just a thorn in your side?
Patrick Finnegan, Dylan Mills.
Yeah.
Obviously, my sophomore played against Spihar and
Yeah,
Chris Locker.
Yeah.
Remember Matty Mathias?
Yep.
The Wheeler kid, the Patosha kid.
Yeah. I played with him at UWS.
Yeah. And then they had the
Colquist
goalie,
was in the nets.
Yeah.
Was in the nets.
And
Yeah.
then my senior year was Adam Cool.
Yep. And
Nick
guys, he
Nick
ended
Angel.
up. Yeah, and guys, he
Is that
ended up
Ryan's
playing.
brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The guys you ended up playing with after you were done, and we'll get into your junior stuff. But fast forward for just a split second, guys that you ended up playing with years later, like
Yeah.
Adam Cool at UMD,
Yeah.
and some of these guys that, and of course, obviously Aaron ended up playing with Dylan Mills at the U, and
Yeah.
and
They lived
Spihar
together.
at the U,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and so just
Yeah.
you hate to play against these guys. Some of these guys that are thorn in your side, and then a couple of years later, either you're playing juniors with them or you're playing college with them in those situations. It's funny how small the world is in the hockey world, and how it
And you
all.
realize they're good guys, just like, like when you're on
absolutely.
the same team, it's great.
But you're all playing for the same goal, which
Yeah.
is the same goal that our high school kids around the area are playing for now. Everybody wants to play. For us, it was the Civic Center. Nowadays, you want to play at the Xcel Energy Center. You want to be in front of that big
Well,
20,000.
pretty soon it's going to be, the Mystic Lake?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Right? Is that
yeah.
heard, right? I don't know when that starts.
yeah.
Is that the end of the year, maybe?
Who knows? I'll have to do
Mystic
some
Lake Arena, Mystic Lake Center. I don't know.
Yeah.
mistake.
If anyone
Lake.
knows, comment. If someone knows, please comment.
Yeah,
because,
right.
I think
I
that's
just
gonna
call it
be the fight.
Mistake Lake because every time I go there, I
All
lose
my buddies
money.
down there tell me.
I just donate. Yeah.
But yeah, let me throw in a quick ad read here. Support for the show continues to come from Aspire Heating and Control, your local Bryant dealer, and Bryant is the official heating and cooling company of your Minnesota Wild. Aspire specializes in gas, electric, and hydronic heating and cooling systems for existing and new construction, residential and commercial installations available. Services include forced air systems, boilers, heat pumps, mini splits. They are, of course, licensed and bonded. Give Justin a call. 218-999-5957. I had 44 on the dial this morning at 10 to 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was in Tower and talked to a woman today that said she had 38. So, point being, if you need the heater tuned, it's Aspire Heat and Control. Give Justin a call, 999-5957.
I don't know how that works. Like, seriously,
I know.
Wasn't it just a week and a half ago? It was 86 degrees.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
And I wake up this morning, it's 58, and I'm like, what is going on right
Yeah,
now?
when we played golf at the Wilderness, that was the 15th of August.
Oh.
And it was hotter than snot out, and there was like no
And
wind.
smog?
No
Smog seems to have got, oh, it wasn't. Okay,
Yeah.
there's a smog finally
Yeah.
seemed to have left. But was past guest Dante Tomasoni on the crew? Do you know Dante?
I know Dante.
Yeah, was he up there?
No, I didn't see
okay.
him up there, but I was a little late this year, like just at the, when things was just about to start, so
Okay,
we kind of
you
had a
just kinda
hustle.
went in. Okay.
But there was we had a good turnout.
Dante, we had him here last year.
Yeah,
but
right here.
basically this
Yeah,
time.
right, exactly.
A year later, we got Mike.
Yeah, now we got Mike. Yeah, so let's get into the junior conversation. I looked at your coaches. You were in Dubuque.
Yeah.
And I didn't know any of the coaches. I knew Chad Kohler from the roster. That was about all I knew. So tell us. I mean, Reed probably knows some
I know
guys,
one
but-
of them. I know one of them because I worked with them a little bit. Tommy McDermott was there,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Where'd you work with him at?
Well, I've worked with him in a couple of different places. But I worked with Tommy McDermott with the Rochester Ice Hawks quite a few years back, and then kind of stayed connected with him. Just in the junior. I don't believe he's coaching anymore now.
Okay.
I haven't talked to him for a bunch of years, but I just remember he was the assistant coach that year, and the head coach obviously.
Yeah, the head coach was like Brian Gallagher or something.
Gallagher,
I think he ever
yeah.
the coach. He was like the general manager too, and then he decided to coach, and probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, no, it's
He was
funny.
that good, huh?
Yeah.
It's really funny because this is about Mikey, but just a little bit here that I almost ended up in Dubuque at the same time Mike was there. They started sending me draft emails and stuff like that because they knew that I was going to leave the football team at UMD. So I'm talking with those guys. I'm talking with other teams. I'm talking to
Should've came
Gallagher
down.
on the phone, and I don't know what I can't remember what happened, but I ended up going to the Twin City Vulcans tryout camp instead of taking Gallagher up on a draft or whatever it was, and I ended up going there, and I got cut from their 30-man roster. So when they went from 30 to 26, I got cut from that roster, and they did a lot sooner. So then I ended up going out to Bismarck to play for the Bobcats. But I also had talked with Bliss.
Yeah, you're supposed to go
about
see
going
yeah, you were supposed to go.
So
Bliss already told us you were supposed to
I
go
almost
see
had
him.
two different things going on at once, trying to figure out where I was going to go. But there was this piece in my mind thinking, well, geez, Mikey was going to go to Dubuque. That would have been a great place for me to go. It would have been someone that was familiar, someone I played on the line with off and on through high school. And I almost ended up going there. But it just didn't work out. It would have been a lot of fun.
Funny, yeah, it's funny how that works.
So
So now I'm
Dubuque-
kind of mad at you.
I know, you should be. So Dubuque, talk about that experience. Talk about your year of playing juniors down there.
It was an eye opener. So I remember
Kids, listen to this. This is important.
I played in the Chicago Showcase. You know, after high school, like I had it was Lincoln and Green Bay and Omaha that wanted to tender me. And I said, no, I'm not signing a tender. I'm going to go to school.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go to school. And then our season got over, and like I can't not play hockey. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I didn't have any offers to go to college. You know, like I was talking to a couple, and like you got to, if you want to play, you got to play juniors.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got drafted number 1 overall by Dubuque.
Yep.
Oh, really?
And,
Congrats,
and
you're
I
the
was
number
like,
one.
and I was like, I didn't even realize it was going on. They're like, hey, and
Well,
they
it's
sent
before the
somebody-
internet, so you think the kids will
so they sent
understand.
somebody up to talk to me. I'm like, well, I don't want to play in Dubuque.
Yeah.
well,
Well,
we're
sorry,
not.
this works.
We're not going to trade you.
That's sorry. You're the number 1 pick. You got picked to go there. That's where you're going.
Yeah, and so I went down there, and I had to go down early, so I was down there all by myself because I took some college courses down there, and I remember the training camp and meeting some new people, and I remember Chad Kohler and Adam Craigthorpe and a couple other guys. Marty Richley from Forest Lake was down there, and then Brad Johnson from Bemidji was down there. I think he ended up playing for Bemidji State. And then Joe Garvin, who went to Alaska. Anyway, and then we had this. We had this kid from the Czech Republic, Jaroslav Seski. Wow, is he a good player? And he really couldn't speak any English. And if he would have had grades, he would have played Division I for sure.
Yeah.
He ended up playing at Augsburg, but he could have played in Division I. And I just remember, like, in the first 19 games, I had 21 points. I kind of was on fire. I got my first fight. And things were going good, and then I got hurt. But I just remember how much faster it was.
Yeah.
and just like how everyone was so like, I thought I was just gonna be able to do what I did in high school, and it was not even close. Like it was just like kind of just another guy out there.
Yeah.
It was something else. But I had a really good center. His name was G.O.A.T, and he was from New Jersey. And so I got hurt and I separated my shoulder and had to miss 4 to 6 weeks. And then I came back, and Joe, he had had shoulder issues for a long time, and his shoulder went out for the last time. He had to have his shoulder redone. And then I just I never really got back on.
It wasn't the same?
Yeah,
He was
it was never the same. And I just never really got back on it. I think I only had a few more goals and just really went down in points. And, you know, then I was kind of like second and third line. But I think when we kind of started having a little bit of a losing season, I had like 2 more years left. And the head guy knew that. And I found this out later, but I had some colleges like Yale and a couple other that wanted to talk to me, and I found this out through other people afterwards, and he never told me about that. And I just figured, like,
hold
if I
you
could,
hostage.
hold me down a little bit, and then you can get more time. And so then I kind of just had a falling out. I'm like, I'm getting out of here. And after that year I was done, I knew I didn't want to. I had a good experience. It grew me in a lot of ways, and mental toughness, and knew what I had to do, and I worked really hard. And then I went to UMD as a walk-on. I had like an academic scholarship that got me, and Surdy was the coach, and made the team and played for Cert for a year, and then Sandlin came in after that year. And then it was just kind of a transition phase, but it was a tough experience. But I went to trade. Always, you want to do more, you want to be better. But it was a good experience. It formed me as a person.
Well, and that's why I just said, kids, listen. I mean, you go to junior, like you're kind of on your own, right? There is it's not it's not
it's
this.
A
like, it's a business. It's like
is.
He's looking at you, said, I need him for next year. I want to keep my job.
And
I'm
like
gonna put
a lot
him
of these
here.
guys, they want to they're there to get to the next level.
Right.
The
coaches are there to get to the next
level. It's a little bit cutthroat. The coaches are there for the next level. And like you said, it's a business. I remember when I separated my shoulder. Here I am sitting in the emergency room at the hospital. I'm like, I think I'm just barely 18 years old. It was Thanksgiving, and I was like, I was there all alone. Like,
well, and he's got. What, you have 3 brothers and a sister, right?
Yeah.
So everyone's eating turkey, and he's eating apple by himself on Thanksgiving.
Eating mac and cheese. You know what's really funny when you talk about just the difference in junior experience, and Pookie, you said, like, young guys listen to this, and we actually had Coach Trent Clack come in and talk to, and I'm not sure if I talked about this in the last show or not, but I'm going to say it again for those that didn't hear this. He came in and spoke to our high school team at the very beginning of our July camp. It was the very first day of camp, and Grant set it up so that Trent could come in and talk to the kids. And one of the things that he mentioned, just his message to kids about junior hockey, is this: I want you to remember this, whether it's after you are done with high school or whether it's you are thinking you're gonna leave high school early and go play, I just want you to remember, I want you to take a look at the 2 guys standing in front of you, because it was just Grant and I at the moment at practice. Other 2 coaches were working, but he said, I want you to take a look at the 2 guys. Take a look at Coach Clapton, take a look at Coach Rito. These are the last coaches that you will ever have that actually care about you as a person. And want the best for you personally, because at the next level, juniors, at the next level, college, at the next level, pro, you may have a really nice person that coaches for you and a God-fearing man or whatever it might be, but their job depends on winning. And if they have to upgrade here or there or whatever it takes in order for that coach to win, they got to do it. It's their livelihood. They're trying to put food on the table for their kids, and you can't blame them for doing that. High school coaches in the state of Minnesota, you're not doing it for the money. And obviously you're thinking about winning, but that's not the biggest thing that's there. Obviously you're trying to shape young men into good people. And I thought that message for anybody that's thinking about junior hockey, whether it's after or whether it's before you're even done with high school, just remember the high school coach that you have right now literally is the last one that actually cares about you as a person.
That's
And
good.
that came from Trent.
Have your best interest in
Yeah,
mind. You
yeah,
know, and,
for sure.
And it's different, like, you know, in like high school and growing up, like you get to play with your buddies. You have that same goal, get down to St. Paul.
Yeah.
And like I said, like Puka said, like when you get to juniors, it's different.
It's cutthroat.
Yeah.
It is. It's you know, you go to juniors, you go wherever you're going. It's one of those spots where it's like, okay, you might be getting an opportunity, and if you do great with that opportunity, you might roll with it for a little while. If you screw up, it might be a while before you get that opportunity again, and you'll be one of the suits sitting up in 281 or whatever the section is up top watching while you got 20 other guys dressed and you're a healthy scratch. And you might have to fight, claw, and chew your way back into the lineup. And that's the way, even Division III, it's the same thing.
Division 3 is the same thing. It's like those players all play juniors. It's so good hockey. There's just like hockey is so much bigger now. Like it's global. Like in California and Mississippi, it's everywhere. And there's so many more players. There's so many more places to play.
Those are the cities. Guy's got a son being recruited. 300 kids. Someone could comment. 300 kids right now have signed. Now this could be including D3, but 300 just CHL players. Have signed to play college hockey. Now some of those are young. I don't know how young they can commit. 16s. I don't know, but between D3, D1, not everyone's coming this year, not necessarily, but 300 more kids entered the pool. You know, and that's how big they said global. That's how big
with
hockey,
the CHL.
with the CHL. So
I mean, you're talking major juniors, and this whole. I mean, we're living in a completely different world, which is going to be a definite conversation that we have once Puka and I get going into the season. November, we start October, start getting our preseason stuff going. We're going to start touching base a little bit on college hockey and what that looks like.
It's going to be
it's a completely different landscape with NLI. It's a completely different landscape with now, okay, we're going to allow these Canadians that got paid to come in and play. It's knocking every league down. We'll talk about how it's affecting different junior levels and this and that.
Transfer portal,
it's insane. I don't know how people are going to play. Like back when we played, you guys, like you might have a guy or two from Colorado but you never heard of like the southern states, California and Florida and Mississippi and Alabama and you know, and Arizona
and Utah. Boulder.
I
get a team, and they were talking 20 years when I lived in Montana State. They're like, we've talked to Bruce McLeod was the commissioner. I think WCHA that way. I met the AD. It was a female, and she's like, we've actually had conversations. I don't know if it's in our budget. We have to get an arena. That's the biggest thing with hockey, of course, is getting the arena. But it's cool to see places like Augusta. I mean, Fargo could do it tomorrow. NDSU could do it tomorrow with the amount of rinks they have out there. They've had the club team, a successful club team. Fargo's like ready to go. And maybe even some of those junior towns, I mean, I'd hate to see it in a sense because they've been there forever, but is Dubuque got a university? I just don't know. You know what I mean? Does lacrosse has a college, 4-year college. But anyway, Chicago used to, Chicago used to have a D1 team. And how did they not have a D1? There's so many players that come out of the suburbs.
The ACHA league out there right now with college club level teams, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3 college club, now are popping up all over the place. Because the pool of junior hockey players like Tier 3, NA3HL, NAPHL, Premier, whatever, all of these different Tier 3 levels, your Tier 2 levels, your Tier 1. There's so many different levels, and now the effect that the CHL is having on the USHL, the USHL will then have on the North American League, the NA3, the NP, whatever, all of these other different leagues, they're starting now to say, well, if you're not playing Tier 2 or higher, there's a really, really fair chance that you're going to play NCAA hockey. It's looking like, and this is now people are saying, I don't know if I agree with it. I have to see where it's going, but they're saying a lot of filtering from Tier 3 hockey is going to be going into club hockey. UW Superior, where I played, has a Division 3 team who is, in the top 10 in the country. They also have a club league team, club level team that they just put in. That's an NCHA or an ACHA level team. So they're really popping in, and they're starting to, in some of these different places, sell tickets for these games, like upwards to 4,000 people
absolutely.
coming to their games.
Well, that's what ASU was. before.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like,
It's unbelievable.
There's been some club teams,
Penn State was.
Yeah.
yes, that have become now Division I teams. You know,
Yeah.
like my cousin Jack Becker, he played at Michigan,
Yep.
and then they had that extra COVID year. His senior or super senior, he went and played at ASU.
Yep.
Now he's playing in the AHL in Austin.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
Well, we better
something
get
else.
back on Sunday because we got date night. We got to talk
date
about speaking of D1 hockey. We got to get into that. So you have Coach Surdich is your coach, and then how was that? I mean, that was tough. Buddy Craig Pierce, your buddy,
Piercey,
comrade of both of yours, and
Bo Geisler?
Yeah, Bo. You had a lot of local guys.
Yeah.
Of course, your cousin Josh, but I just remember. Well, I want to talk about all those guys, but I remember Craig saying it was a tough transition.
It
from
was
Surdich too, so I was going to get you.
It was hard because Surdy was just an amazing human being, and you knew that he loved you and cared about you. And yeah, he wanted to win, but you knew he cared about you. He cared about his players and what was best for him. And then I was recruited there by him, and it was tough to see him go. And then it was he had something exciting and new, but and Sandlin was just kind of starting out, and he was under Dean Blaze, and he had to figure it out for the first few years, and so then he kind of took his recruits and didn't owe us any of us surge guys really anything, so he kind of had to basically remake the team again. And so it was like a tryout, and I made it again, and it was just I was always like a third, fourth line guy, sometimes a fifth line guy in practice, and you just worked hard, but there were such good people that those guys are my buddies to this day, but we had it rough for a couple years where we
transition.
Yeah, and we didn't win a ton of games. We were kind of in the lower half of the WCHA, and then I think a little while later, Sandy kind of found his footing and really loosened up the reins a little bit. And
well, you're coming from Dean Blaze.
that's what I mean. It was like it was super hard guy, and he was, and at first didn't have that relationship that Sandy has now with his players. I have a way better relationship with him now, than I did when I was in college. Especially those first couple of years, it was really, he wasn't a players guy. It was a lot different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind
He
of
had buffers.
Yeah.
He had buffers with his assistant coaches, right? Those guys would try to be more of the player guys, and he's trying to establish himself as a head coach. And maybe there's a little bit of a wall and some intimidation factor that's there, but I think after a few years of figuring it out, winning a national championship or two, and he starts to figure out exactly what it takes to get your players to play for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would not have said that Avery, Adam Johnson, Neil, none of those guys those national championship era teams, none of those guys said he was hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He changed a lot after those first few years. Maybe this isn't working. But give him credit. He evolved and he changed and didn't just stick to one thing. And he always was looking for and studying, and he did it right.
Yeah.
He did well.
Well, you had just a few names, Francis, Gundy, Pagreba, Ryan Nosen, Cooley, both of them, Nate Anderson, Chewy, Matthias, Hardwick, Rodberg. He's a Proctor guy, I think, right? Your cousin Josh. So you had a lot of Northern boys.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Mark Peluso came in, and
Marco did.
And in fact, a lot of those guys just came up there at my cabin on Lake Vermilion a couple weekends ago when we had our alumni outing. So,
that's awesome.
And it was pretty much everybody came,
So that's been cool playing with your cousin too, Josh.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, we lived together. And
Greenway Josh, not Rapids. No, don't be getting this confused now.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's the Greenway Miskoviches now.
They all come to Rapids now. They're all in Rapids.
Yep, they're all in Rapids now.
They're all at Rapids now. Sorry, Serdy. Sorry. No, but it's interesting because you're talking about a lot of the old guys, and you mentioned some of them, and actually some of the transition time there too that you mentioned with Surdy. His last year coaching at UMD, and then Sandlin coming in. There's other guys that kind of struggled with that transition too.
Yeah.
Rado struggled with that transition, struggled in and out of the lineup.
Yep.
he ended up transferring over to UWS and playing with me, Tim Schneider. Schneids.
I might have done that had I not been so far in my degree.
You were way into your dental
Yeah.
program and
Yeah.
what you were doing. Had
Yeah.
you done it, you definitely would have came over and won a national championship.
But
Show the ring.
When Roddy was talking about that, Tim was talking about it. I'm like, geez, that sounds kind of.
Tim came soon
Nice.
enough. He
Yeah.
came soon enough to
Yeah.
win it. Rado came the year after
Yeah.
we won it, and that was a struggle that my senior year because we ended up getting bumped out on a technicality. We didn't even make the NCAA tournament that year, but yeah, bummer deal because we wanted Rado to get one too. That was one of them ones where we had I don't know how many guys we had that were Division I transfers that ended up landing there, like the Colin Kendalls and the Rado and Schneids and myself, all either getting cut from a D1 team or
Just
deciding to
weren't playing.
leave
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
came over.
Yeah.
And landed in the spot.
And that's what I mean. Like, even nowadays, it's even more competitive. Like, you can go from like, maybe not at the right place at the right time, or there's a disagreement. Coach doesn't like the way this guy plays. It's like, and then you can go over and play, and there's not sometimes a huge difference
Right.
between that. You know
Oh,
what I
for
mean?
sure, I agree.
Or, it's your depth sometime maybe, or your top
Yep.
end players, but yeah.
Yeah, it was fun to see that level because it was almost like I got cut in right at the beginning of the season, right in October. I transfer over at the semester break to UWS, so I'm leaving practices with you guys, practicing with UMD, and then I start up right away after the new year and get going. And the practices were like they felt like the same speed.
Yeah.
They were good.
Sure. So I see you. So you did 3 years. Is that because you were just college was done, or did you just say, I've had enough?
I just kind of said, you know what, I wanted to focus on my studies.
Okay.
Um,
He is a dentist, by the way.
and so it's like I had like Neil Sheehy's like, hey, I have a couple places at the East Coast would like you to play. I'm like, no thanks. I just like I had a couple concussions. Shoulder had a few separations, and my knee was kind of hurt. And so it's like.
It was time.
It was time.
It was just
yeah, and I look back and I was glad. Like I was at peace with my decision.
Yeah. Well, good.
Yeah.
100%. So, all right. Well, so then let's fast forward a little bit here. So, when did you move to Virginia?
Oh, 2009.
2009.
Yeah.
And then there's a high school coach over at the Virginia Blue Devils, and then so then you take up a few
Who was
years.
that guy? Who was that guy?
So then you decide, what the heck?
I see her jersey sitting right up over there. And that was one of the jerseys that we had there.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of funny because I get offered the job in the spring of 2011, the summer of 2011. So the 11-12 season was, I'm leaving Wilmer, coming up to Virginia, and I'm thinking, I don't know anybody in this town except, wait a minute, Michael lives here. Was he the guy he's the dental guy. I need an assistant coach. Well, of course he's busy and trying to figure out what it's like. He's just getting going with at the time had kind of a joint situation with another dentist. And so I'm coming in and I'm trying to figure out who my assistants are going to be. And obviously the first phone call I make is to Michael.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm going to give you whatever I can. I can't be your number one paid guy. I got to figure out my job, but I'll be there when I can. And this was probably for you, like just looking at it going, oh my gosh, I got to go to work today. I want to go to practice. I want to go to practice.
I don't regret it at all. It was awesome. I mean, it was a great, 7 years?
Yeah, we had seven years we coached together from the first day that I started.
Holy mackerel.
Michael was there with me and Strooks from the first day that we started till the day I told him I'm leaving and going to Rapids. So, which was a sad day, but a fun day because he knew I was going home.
Yeah.
But yeah, Michael coaching with me. Let's talk about maybe your time here coaching high school hockey in Virginia. What were some of your best moments of coaching high school hockey?
And those include Rito flipping out. We want to hear the
Okay,
we want
Do you want to hear the kick and the garbage can stories, or what would you like
There
to
was
hear?
a couple of those.
We had a few, but you know, it's funny. The kids never knew this, Michael, and
I know, because I remember Strooks. I always have it planned out.
Yeah, you can't, listen, coaches, you can't just go in the locker room and kick a garbage can. You got to plan it.
Oh, you got to plan it?
You do.
Plus, you got to have some.
Because you don't want it to hit anybody either.
No,
you know? So
if
you
you
are going to
hit
put it like
somebody,
right
you
before
are-
they open. You
but
know?
you
some
know-
fluff in there too. So
Yeah,
flies.
yeah,
You can't have an
yeah.
empty garbage.
Well,
can.
you
That's
know
no
when
fun.
it's happening. Like, you go in the first period or the second period, and you're like, these guys look like absolute crap tonight. Like, what is going on? And it's the first period, and I look at Michael, and he's standing to the left of me, and Strooks is standing to the right, and I'm like, I think your garbage can needs to fly, doesn't it, Misky? And he's like, yeah, I think so.
Where was this?
So this is at home, right?
here?
Yeah.
So I look down the bench, and I go, Strooks, garbage can. Strooks leaves the bench 3 minutes early, goes to the locker room, makes sure he changes the whatever's in the garbage can, takes the bag out, puts a new bag in, takes the garbage and puts it in the office, sets it up so you got a little time.
Paper towels in there.
Yeah, paper
Yeah.
towels, puts whatever
Confetti.
else and sticks it in there, and he sets it in front of the shower.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And so this is planned, but you can't plan at the beginning of the game. You know if it's going to be that. But it was 3 minutes left. We get just destroyed by someone. I don't remember who it is. But it's like, I'm kicking a garbage can. There's no two ways about it. So it happens. You go ahead and unleash on it. But garbage can, I think we probably did it once a year, maybe. We probably did it.
okay.
And I don't know if they ever caught on. Like, they planned
No,
this
they
stuff.
didn't.
They weren't smart enough.
No.
They weren't. We had some pretty smart kids, but we were smarter.
They were on their phones when you kicked the can.
Oh.
They didn't even know you. Oh my god.
So what was your favorite memory, Coach, in Virginia when we were the?
You know, I still have a little scrapbook of a lot of newspaper clips and articles, and you know, we always had that guy taking pictures. That was pretty cool. And,
Yep.
You know, those memories pop up on the social media stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I think one of our, you know, obviously when the kids won the IRC that year and deserved it, but when John Rothstein and Grant and Aaron was coach with those guys, and we beat them at home, and just to see how excited the kids got, that was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, it was fun. We played in Rapids earlier in the year, and I think it was in December that we played in Rapids, and we took a picture of the three of us out on the ice.
Yes.
I still have that picture.
Yeah.
It was you and I and Aaron. Take a picture of the three of us. We got our Blue Devil jackets on. He's got on his Rapids jacket right at the IRS Civics, and like, hey, we're all at home. We're playing against each other, but whatever. And of course, we're upstairs talking to our parents after the game and whatnot, yours and mine. And we got beat 4-2 that night, and we were destroyed because it was a close game. They ended up scoring an empty netter at the end of the game to get it 4. But we're thinking we got a shot against this team.
What year was this?
This was 2014.
Okay.
Was that when they had Avery Peterson and stuff like that too?
Avery was still there, and that's the year he won Mr. Hockey.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was. Then we ended up playing them at the end of January, and it's coming down to the wire. Like, we're having a pretty good year. I think we had 17 wins that year, 18 wins that year.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming down to the wire. 2014, whoever wins this game is going to win the IRC. And Grand Rapids, let me just get this to you. Grand Rapids won the Iron Range Conference every single year up to this point that I can remember. I mean, this was the third or fourth year that we were coaching, or the third year that we were coaching together there. They won it the first 2 years. They won it the year before that. We're thinking, we got a chance to win this thing, and ended up beating them at home. 3-2, and like you said, Grant was the assistant coach. Johnny Rothstein was the head coach. Grant Clapton was assistant. Aaron Miskovich, your brother, was assistant coach. And they had, count them, on their team. They had Alex Adams as a sophomore. They had Mitchell Madsen as a sophomore on the team. They had Jonah Bischoff on that team. They had Hunter Shepard in the Nets, and Avery Peterson, Mr. Hockey, that year on their team, and we beat them 3-2. Just a misplayed puck behind the net by Shep. He goes to play the puck, and he throws it up the wall right on a guy's tape on our team, and Colton Anderson buries that thing. And
I remember it was
we,
Colton that scored the goal.
and we ended up winning the game 3-2. The only goals they really scored that game were power play goals. I think they scored 2 goals on a power play. It was a 5-on-3, and they scored again on a 5-on-4.
Their power play was pretty lights
Legit,
out.
legit power play with Jonah on there and all of those studs.
Yeah.
We got out of that game going, we just stole one.
Yeah, we did steal one.
We stole one that
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite memories. Obviously, we had a lot more. That was fun. Any other ones that you can think of?
That one sticks out as the best.
I agree. I don't know. I think there was probably one of those last years that we were coaching together. I think it was 2018, the last year that we were there together. I remember we went on was it like a 4 or 5 game
Was
swing?
that when Travis Kemp was there and stuff like that?
No, this was Jake Seitz. And Jake Seitz,
yeah.
I
Okay.
think he had a hat trick
Yes.
in every game,
Yeah.
like for 4 games in a row.
Yes, he
And
did.
it's like we
yeah.
were just pumping.
Yeah, it was fun. He was a fun kid to watch play, I'll tell you.
You know, and some of the maybe not so good memories, but we remember because we still have them. That one year that we dealt with Strooks having his heart issues.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
The team rallied around it. He had a aortic dissection surgery stuff.
Yeah, because he had an aortic aneurysm.
Yep, aortic
Just lost him.
aneurysm. Oh, yeah,
And hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Church
And-
hockey.
Yeah.
But we rallied around it. Like we had to make some moves, move some guys around because Strooks was off the bench for about 2 months there at the end of the season, but we rallied around it. We did some get-togethers, we did some fundraisers to help out, and pancake feeds and things like that for Strooks and
Yeah,
guys
those are some of
battled.
the best memories too, is
Yeah.
like the community part, and just being part of something. That's
Yeah.
what when I was done with hockey, like that's what I missed the most. Is like
Yeah.
being part of the guys, being part of a group, being part of something that was bigger than yourself.
Oh, for sure. And you start thinking about it's funny because my mom just went to her, one of her class reunions. I think it was her
30th.
Yeah, her mom. That's what it is. She went to a class reunion here this last year, or just a couple of weekends ago, over at Rock Ridge, and they got all of the tour of Rock Ridge and all of this stuff. And one of the questions they really wanted to ask, but felt really kind of weird about asking that question. So I'm going to ask this to Willie, and Willie, you're going to give me a good answer. Okay, I'm not going to get this "we're trying to move forward" answer. I want this
Some
answer.
rehearsed
Here's
point
why.
answer, Willie.
Because the school was built on the tradition of Virginia Evelyn Gilbert. Why are there not any symbols of the old schools around the building?
Interesting.
There's nothing Blue Devil. There's nothing
Where is all the
Golden
stuff?
Bear. There's not. That's the one thing I need to ask. And I get it. Like, we're trying to move forward. That's the answer that you're going to hear from Willie and all the people, and we're going to get that out of
But
you,
you still
Willie.
in order to move forward, you got to know the past.
But you don't move forward in a positive direction without appreciating what you
Yes,
have
the
in the
winning
past.
tradition.
You have this right here, and you have that right there.
And nobody in here is fighting.
Right? Nobody's
happy in
fighting.
here.
yeah.
But some of my mom graduated in 1965. They had a class reunion of a couple of years before that, and her cousin was at that class reunion, and they were talking about, how come we don't have any of the old logos? They need to have a Blue Devil logo somewhere, and a Golden Bear logo in there somewhere else, and even a Buccaneers one for Gilbert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do. It doesn't have to be a lot, but just remember where you came from,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Heck, you can put those in the trophy case.
Yeah, I mean, there doesn't have to be a lot, but something to remember where they came from. You heard it from me.
All right. Well, I think we're pushing the time. It's getting time for date night for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting there. But hey, I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Well,
Thanks for having me, boy.
yeah. Well, yeah. Anything else? Anything else you want to say? Or we covered a lot, and appreciate your time. And
I'll just say this, Mikey. I'll say the years that we had coaching together in Virginia was special. It was special, and I miss those days. But I know that you're looking over at Rapids, going, "Hey, one of my best buddies is coaching with one of my other best buddies from my hometown." And I think every time you turn that on and watch, it's like, yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, the hockey world is a small world, and you have your ups and your downs, you have your beautiful achievements, and then you have your tragedies, and it always seems to rally around those things, whether it's a tragic event, which happened recently with Adam, and
Yep.
or you get a town from the range that goes to a state tournament and wins the state tournament, or you get the local guys that are playing in the juniors and the college hockey, or in the NHL, and it's neat, and you're happy, you're proud of that, you're proud to be a part of that, and you got friends like you two guys, and you're still able to play the game, and like our Friday noon leagues, and old timers.
Yeah, adult hockey, you can't forget that.
It's just and I like those Fridays. I look forward to being with you guys. Like even Bruce Sabetti's and the old timers and Frank.
Due to hockey.
Yeah,
it's all from hockey.
Like a lot of places I go, I have 4 children, and they're like, I'll see where somewhere little that you're 100 miles, 1,000 miles away from home, and like you bump this guy, like, how do you know that guy? Oh, they knew so and so, or we played hockey together, or they friend of a friend through hockey, and
it's the greatest brotherhood.
Yeah,
I mean, now sisterhood too.
It's a great brotherhood, and sisterhood,
greatest,
and it's a great thing, and it's really special, and it's bigger than hockey.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Well, we can shift into just kind of wrapping things up by saying that hockey for me, my entire life, has always, in my career, involved a Miskovich. At least one. All the way through my youth hockey, all the way through, there might have been a couple of years where I didn't have it when I was at UWS, but then as soon as I get back into coaching and back up here on the range, I got a Miskovich on my staff. Now that I'm coaching in Grand Rapids as an assistant, I've got cousins and nephews and you name it of Miskoviches coming through the program. So we got another one coming through right now. We got Will.
Yeah.
Cousin of yours.
Yeah.
Second cousin.
Yeah.
He's coming through, and you said the back in the day there was your Rapids Miskoviches and your Greenway Miskoviches, but now they're just Rapids.
Oh, that's great. All right, brother. Well, we'll close up here. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Once again, we want to just thank everybody here at the Ring Sports Bar and Grill for hosting us. So, as you know, breakfast, lunch, dinner, nightly specials. Come say hello to Michelle, 248-8582. Of course, use up those gift cards. That's what we're going to do tonight. Probably the Rink Burger today.
Oh, yeah.
The Rink Burger tonight.
Even if I can only eat half of it, put the other half in my saddlebag.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he's got the Harley here. So, so as always, merch available, $20 t-shirt, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. It's got the hats there that Coach Larson has on. And we want to thank the greatest partners on earth: Aspire Heating and Control, the Ring Sports Bar and Grill, Aero Auto Glass and Door, Fortune Bay Resort and Casino, Zorbas of Grand Rapids, Iron Range Goalie Academy, Grand Rapids Chevrolet GMC. They also have the new Express Service Center. So check them out. No appointment needed for oil changes, tires, multiple inspections. Minnesota Hockey Camps, the Jackson Hole Moose Hockey Club, Iron Range Plumbing and Heating, and the First National Bank of Chisholm. Cook, for Reed Larson, I'm Puka. Get out there, be your dream. You're tuned to the Tea with Ms McGill Show.
Goat Sports.
First National Bank of Chisholm, where tradition meets the future. Locally owned and operated from our historic Lake Street location in the heart of Chisholm since 1905. From savings to your first big purchase, we're your partner every step of the way. First National Bank of Chisholm, the power to do more.
All right, fellas, you just can't get the hockey itch out of yourself. The college route isn't for you. Community college route isn't for you. The junior hockey route isn't for you. Well, there's still hockey that you can play. Why don't you check out the Jackson Hole Moose out in Jackson Hole, Wyoming? Take a look at these guys. Full crowds, full hockey, packed houses every night. Get a hold of TJ Thomas on Facebook, and he can get you hooked up with what's going on out there in Jackson Hole.
Hear about Zorba's specials? On Mondays, it's Micro Monday. All taps are just $4. Tuesdays, $3 tacos and $4 dos equis. Wednesdays, personal pizzas $8 and domestic taps $4. Thursdays, we have deals on nachos and $5 Surly Taps. We offer trivia on Wednesdays at 6 p.m., bingo on Thursday at 6 p.m., and then karaoke Thursdays at 10 p.m.
Did you know that fascia strength training is great if you have a banged up body and you'd like to heal and get stronger at the same time? Unlike muscle-focused exercise that leaves your body stiff and achy, fascia strength exercise releases muscle tension and fills your body with a spring-loaded power and cat-like agility. Fascia strength is great for athletes and martial artists. If you'd like to pursue this training, take a look at my program, Fascia Strength and Power. I'll leave a link in the description box below.